We're going to try it like this today, and we're going to test the results. I'm putting the fan base, if you will, on notice. I'm not going to put the like and subscribe banner on the screen. I'm just going to trust that you know to like and subscribe by now. If you've listened to us enough, you've heard this rapture enough, like and subscribe. It means a lot. Let's just get right into the spread picks. First, our show pick. It wasn't much debate, actually. We got to it pretty quick, but I don't think there's a whole lot of options this week. This week is kind of like it was already kind of baked out already. I felt like earlier in the week, that's the best time to bet. I always say that. But now it's like we got Pacheco rolled out. The Chiefs probably will just lean on Hunt. So a lot of the numbers, for example, are just really, really smart. I don't think there's much edge left in the sportsbook when it comes to spreads. But we did take the Commanders over the Cowboys. Let's be honest, they were dead for a while. I'll be transparent. I thought about betting them to make the playoffs like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I thought there was a thread of hope. But as soon as Dak Prescott went down, this team went down with it. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb for still playing hard, but outside of that, I don't think they got anything. Their coach is gone. They have no running backs. So the Commanders don't look great either. But at 10.5, I think there's some value there.
The last 6 home games for Dallas, they've been down by 20 more than they've had to lead, significantly more time.
Yeah, and they don't have a quarterback that I trust to just be able to get points in garbage time to make it not that high of a spread. I'm with you on this. This
quickly on
this
that
could be easily a stomping.
I would love to play Trey Lance, honestly, because of the fantasy implications. Like a cheaper version of Justin Fields. He doesn't even have to be efficient, but they're not even using him full time. They have packages. McCarthy has lost it so much so that I don't even feel like he's trying to save his job. Because I feel like if you were saving your job, you would you would try to buy into the team. You would try to set a starter. You would try to set a philosophy. I think he is literally waiting to get fired, which is kind of sad. Speaking of setting things up, though, Donnie, do you have the number generator ready?
Yes.
77.
I like to go with player numbers. I'm going to go Cooper Kupp today. I think he'll have a big game on Sunday night, so let me go 10.
I'll go 25, and it's 72. So, Gov, you're first. I'm middle. Logan Snake.
All right. Okay, so first one, off the wall, but I like it. I think it's probably because of the overreaction, but I actually do like this. Give me Green Bay.
Can I tell you why I like it, Gov? Because I got a -3 before the news.
See, that's amazing.
You got to stay sharp, man.
I'm seeing it here at, is it 5 or 5.5? Okay. It's either one of those two. So, yeah, -5.5.
You set me up perfectly. I had to mention it because I always say the bet early, and then we don't really have an example. This is exactly an example where if you have a lean, you should attack it. It's still a great number, though, Gov.
Yeah, I don't know. 5.5 is going to be tough in what should be a low-scoring game, but that is to get it at 3. No Purdy. I know Shanahan's probably going to keep it low-scoring and close. Green Bay should still win that game easily.
And I think it's pretty well known because we watch football enough, but Jordan Love is off the injury report. He does look a lot better. I think he's a lot closer to 100% than a couple of weeks ago. I still think it was premature to bring him in so early, but are we ready to move on?
Yep. I'm just going to go with the other big spread this week. And I know I shouldn't because this will be the week that they finally decide to blow somebody out. But plus 10.5 for the Panthers. I imagine that Kansas City has no interest in just making this huge blowout.
They do play down to their opponent all the time.
All the time.
They do. Plus 10.5 is what it is?
10.5, yeah. That's
honestly the half point on this game scares me off of it tremendously because of what Govin you were already talking about.
Yeah, I mean, 10 and 10.5, huge difference for me as well right now. I think that's
Well, especially given this team, like Dan Campbell has that like fuck you energy with the Lions right now. They're trying to prove something. I don't think Mahomes and Kelsey or even Andy Reid for that matter are trying to do that. I don't mean to step on your game. I just want to get that out.
Yeah, I can definitely see it going both ways, but the way Kansas City's played lately,
Yeah.
they don't seem like a team that has the potential to blow people out, honestly. You got the next two, Logan.
Yeah, I think I missed the game. I might have to bet this right after we get off the show if the number sticks. I don't know why it's this low. I thought it was higher. I think it was at one point, so maybe I should bet it sooner than later. But give me Denver at only -6 against the Raiders team that looks like they look like the worst team. At least the Patriots have like Drake May. They have some youth and some experience. Like they're not even playing Ritter this week. I don't understand. Like they're not. It just seems like they're like the Cowboys are more lively than the Raiders. I don't understand. And the only reason I wasn't going to say stay off of Denver is that like their superior talent is their defense, right? And like they don't mind playing close games, but you're not even pushing the spread to a touchdown. So this could be like 2 field goals. We win the game, and Sean Payton goes home with the visor. So,
well, to be fair, I will say Desmond Ritter is probably the third quarterback on that roster for a reason. He's awful.
No. That's what I'm saying. But like, at least when you see like a quarterback shuffle or like some like we're gonna try this or we're gonna like they will be using Amir Abdullah and Dylan Loud this week because they lost their 2 starting running backs. Speaking of replacements, so this team is just I think they're done.
Next one, Logan.
Denver -6 is your first.
Yep, and then I will take Seattle -1 against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are very bipolar this season. They're either hot or cold. You can see that in the Kyler Murray fantasy stats. Like he either gets 7 or 10 points or he gets almost 30.
I think it's a hot week. I'm gonna play Kyler.
It really is. It really is kind of.
It wasn't like a good patch on Call of Duty. No one heard anything about that?
You might be right. I mean, we are seeing weird spikes. Like if you and I'm not the numbers guy, so like when I see a numbers trend, it must be really obvious. It is weird. Like there are weeks where they look like the worst offense, and then there are weeks where they put up like 30 points. But I do think Seattle is getting healthier, especially on defense. I think a lot of people thought. Daniels coming over from Michigan, had that Harbaugh connection, would get the defense rolling. They were going to be aggressive. They got injured. They got a lot of injuries. And he said, even admittedly, that this defense is finally healthy for the first time all year. So that's why I'm taking that.
Yeah. All right. For my next pick, I'm going to take the Patriots at 7.5. Miami, I know they're much more talented. They haven't been playing great this year. Obviously, a lot of injuries are a reason for that. But I think this is the first time in probably 4 years it looks like Patriots players are having fun while playing. They're enjoying scoring. They're enjoying being competitive in some of these games.
Mm-hmm.
And to go into a division opponent's game and kill their season, I think is going to be a huge motivator this week. Potentially kill the season anyway. They did it to the Jets. They're enjoying this whole spoiler thing, I think. A little too much, maybe.
Your exact reason for the Patriots, though, is why I think the Raiders should try to go to Ritter or just try something, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get that spoiler energy up. You're trying to build some excitement. Give some reason for players to care. But yeah, you're right. The Patriots have it. They have a vibe right now. They're not a good team, but they have a vibe.
Gov, last one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take just another favorite. Give me the Eagles -3. Right? Yeah, -3.
That is a good one. Devontae Smith could be good just because we probably won't get to it because he's not on the DFS slate this week. He is out. So it's going to be a lot of A.J. Brown and Saquon Barkley. So maybe just speak on that in case somebody.
I think that somehow is deflating the line, even though I don't think a wide receiver should move a line at all like that.
A wide receiver too.
Like the Rams are healthy. They could put up a game in LA. Like I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely not a safe bet for me, but I like the way everything's working out. I don't think I'll take this game.
Yeah, I don't think any of these spreads are that safe. To be fair,
I'm not sure I bet it like any higher than -3 though. Like if it's 3.5, 4, I probably don't bet this.
Yeah, I almost don't like any of these spreads. Honestly, they're not hugely.
It's not like the other week where it's like every game is either 3 points or 12 points, but it's a lot of like everything's either a close game or a touchdown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a very. I feel like if we're cooking,
like everything's like 7, 8.5, 7.5, 6, 6, 6, or 3.5, 1, 2, 3.5, or the two outliers are Dallas, Washington, and Chiefs, Panthers, which are both 10.5. Those are the only double-digit spreads. Everything else is either a touchdown or a field goal this week.
Yeah, everything's pretty concrete. Maybe I'm just not liking a lot of the like underdogs or liking a lot of those narrative stories this week. But everything just seems pretty much bet into place. Speaking of in place, I have our lineup in front of us now. Did we want to go with value? Do we want to start with the draft? How do we want to do it today?
Let's just get our values.
With the value lineup is a great place to start.
It's a good exercise for sure.
Yeah.
So first thing we do, let's go at quarterback. Like there's a lot of good first things first, DraftKings, have you looked at pricing at all, Donnie?
I'm not joking. Logan got me to look at them on a Tuesday, I think. Like I was really early this week.
Have you noticed how DraftKings has like priced everyone down a little bit?
Yes. Yeah. No, I don't remember the last time we've been in Thanksgiving and not had at least one player 9K. Like
right.
That is
if not a giant field of 6 to 7K guys.
Yeah, that's a great point. I do think that's strategic. So if we want, we can spend a minute on why we think that is. I have a guess, but why do you think they did that?
I think they're trying to get people in early. Like they're trying to soften it up. So like, because the way their system works, it's kind of automatic. So that's why it ratchets up this time of year. You get 10, 11 weeks in, guys who have been played a whole bunch and also are hitting are now really, really priced up. So they think it looks like they went in and ratcheted everything down so that it won't get super high with an 18-week season. Like maybe they realized an 18-week season last year, it's like, oh, everything's going to get way out of control by the end of the year.
I think that's pretty much identically what I believe. I'll just elaborate quickly to that. Is I think they're afraid of it getting too condensed where it's like, oh, everyone wants to play this one expensive guy. No one wants to pay this expensive range because why would you take the chance there? And they know people lose interest. Like people lose interest in their real life home leagues. You know, even guys like Evan who used to be on the show are probably losing interest in their dynasty leagues and stuff like that. So what happens is then people just naturally lose interest in DFS because if you're not paying attention to fantasy football, why would you even do a daily lineup? So I think what it is they want to price everything down, make it exciting again, so they can ramp up for Thanksgiving. I really think this is kind of
they have a $5 millionaire maker on Thanksgiving. So like
exactly.
They usually only do that like start of the year. So they're like treating it like a restart of the year almost.
Which I think is smart. They want to reinvest in the casual market. And that's not just like casual players. I'm saying casually. They want us to feel good about our lineups too. You know, they want to give us a bit of a reset.
If you're telling me there's a $5 millionaire maker or a $3 play action, I'm probably playing the millie.
Exactly. And then they actually squeeze $2 more out of you with less EV because, the millie is going to be harder to win. So they actually get more rake and more money. So before
I'm being a fish. I'm a total fish in that. 100%
Well,
fish.
commercially, it's fun. You can tell your dad, hey, next year I'm paying for Thanksgiving. I'm going to win $1 million. There is some value to that.
We can sweat the millie together as a family.
Don't put it past DraftKings to put that into a Kevin Hart ad pretty soon. You'll be seeing LeBron James and Kevin Hart everywhere. Donnie,
With turkey. He'll be spiking the turkey instead of the glass.
Donnie, you have any opinion on this, or do you want to just get to your values? What do you got here?
I don't got much of an opinion on it, honestly.
All right.
There's a lot of interesting things this week.
I was saying,
I'm
you paid attention on a Tuesday. You got to have some value plays for me now. Who do you got? Any position? Who do you got?
I was about to say, let's go through it one at a time. Don't just call them out on that. We're good. I did want to get that overall thought out, though. Like, the pricing has been softened for like the second half of the season, so we will have to deal with that moving forward. But
let's get our quarterback. Gov.
Yeah.
Do you got your hat ready? Do you want to announce the quarterback for us?
No, I'm not going to pull the hat out. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to announce the quarterback. There are two. But as I was telling Logan off the show, San Francisco is more likely to just run the fuck ball. Give McCaffrey and Mason and Garendo carries and just run it 40 times. They are more willing and able to do that, which means Brandon Allen has a 25 throw ceiling. Even if you look at Brock Purdy, what's Brock Purdy's most balls thrown? You would just normally expect Brandon Allen to throw, just think about it. I would not expect Brandon Allen to throw more than Brock Purdy would normally. In a normal game script, I would not expect Brandon Allen to throw more than Purdy. And then go to look at Purdy. Purdy only throws it 28 to 30 times a game. So Brandon Allen might throw it 25 times because they run it 40 times in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Especially if it's snowy like it was at the end of that Cleveland game.
That is a valuable point, though. How would he need, where is the game script or the scenario where he would throw more than Brock? Because I never thought of it that way, but that is a good point.
The game script where Brandon Allen has to throw more than Brock is probably one where a running back gets hurt, a specific one, who I will not say because it might make something happen. But if players on the field get hurt, then maybe you get a Brandon Allen throws it 35, 40 times.
Well, I'll mention that player because I'll say it in a positive way. That's why I have interest in playing him, because I think there is more talent on the 49ers than there is the Giants. So therefore, a screen pass to Christian McCaffrey could go to the house. Allen's still the bad quarterback. He can still only throw a 10-yard out. But you know what? It's Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah, there's definitely outs to Allen having a solid game.
Right.
Same thing with Tommy DeVito. Tommy DeVito is the other guy.
Yeah.
But I think Tommy DeVito's game environment and what they might allow him to do in New York with the team they have, this team wants to show off and get reps for two players in New York. Tracy, Neighbors. You got to have DeVito just chucking it to Neighbors.
Neighbors might miss this week, by the way.
I know, that would be insane.
I would
play so much Tracy and no DeVito. Or if I might do DeVito Tracy and then see what fits.
I just want to say this.
But not in this lineup, but in my own stuff. So.
Yeah. I have one lineup that has 3 of the most expensive players on the slate in it, and I still have 600 left over.
Because of DeVito?
Don't dupe me, bro. you know I'd be sorry. I have an idea of what you did because I have an idea that I built the same.
Oh God, you might all have the same lineup. No.
But here's why I like DeVito, because I mentioned OWS. I'm a big fan of OWS's content. The way JM carries himself, the way he kind of carries that company. It's a very good way to look at a construction lineup. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised this show kind of was born off of that, it really fomented a lot of my opinions and just the way I think of the slate as well. So if you haven't checked that out, but he was saying, look, he's not a 4K, Malik Willis or 4K, wow, this guy's a good value. DeVito played last year, put up 20 points. it is really annoying all the background.
With less talent.
What's that?
With less talent, he did that.
With less talent last year, yeah, I would agree. This team is way more talented. Like Tracy is a legit weapon for this team. Neighbors is a legit Rookie of the Year candidate. And you still got Wanda Robinson, who I think would have actually had a better career had he been with a better quarterback that fit his skills. I actually think DeVito fits that skills. Like he's not a runner like Daniel Jones is, but he's mobile enough where he's going to open up those slot kind of routes, I feel like, for Robinson. And why I like this play is you have a cheap leverage play off of the chalky tight end this week, Luke Schoonemaker, who I'm going to play a lot of because he's minimum price, and he got 10 targets with the Cowboys and half the work last week. But if you wanted to get cute, you could play Theo Johnson, a very talented rookie tight end for this team. So there's a lot more things you can do. Where I feel like if you play Allen, you're still playing, maybe a CMC, so you're still allocating a lot of salary. To Donnie's point, you can do some really fluky things with DeVito.
It's true. I honestly DeVito's just at a salary point where I could see just not even worry about stacking him. The salary allows me will get me game stacks and blocks without the quarterback. I just need to weigh the possibility of that game stack going off without the quarterback going for 30. Because doing that tells me okay, DeVito hits value at 16 points. Probably doesn't bring anybody along unless it's cheap Theo Johnson.
I want to say he had 2 20-point games last year when
he did have a 20-point game. He had an 18-point game. He had a couple of 15 and 16-pointers, and then he had a few 9-pointers.
I knew I'd ask the math guy and you'd have it.
No, yeah. That's what I mean. He has the ability to go for 20, but he's more likely to hit 15.
So last point, because
but 15 to 16 pays off his salary. That's the thing about DeVito. Is he is most likely to pay off 4K, and if he does anything better, you're in tournament winning territory. You just got to play for that scenario. So in the scenario that DeVito is a tournament winner, I'm definitely stacking him with someone, whether it's Theo Johnson or Neighbors if he plays or something. And I think that's more likely to hit in any scenario than Brandon Allen. Brandon Allen needs the team to fall apart so that he has to do something abnormal to the game plan, which is crazy for a Shanahan offense. He almost it's not even a player needs to go down. He needs a coach to not show up for the game the day before.
You might be right.
For that to go wrong.
I love stars and scrubs, so I'm always looking for value.
And Purdy's been getting X-rays all week, so Brandon Allen's been doing first-team reps, whether people like it or not.
But I will say, I usually do stars and scrubs, so I'm always looking for value. This is a historic week for value. There has never been more value, I don't think, in my life on a DraftKings slate. There's too much value, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we should push ahead here.
Yeah. So running back right now, I still like a lot of the top-end plays. I still you have 2 guys at 8K, 3 guys at 7K, and a normal range of 6K guys, and then guys who had been low 6Ks this year are back into the mid 5Ks. I don't think there's a value running back anything super cheap that's
there is.
Amir Abdullah.
Not a super cheap. No one on Vegas is a value. No one on Vegas is even viable. No one on Vegas is even viable. Not even not on the radar. Do not play Raiders running backs. Do not do it.
You're gonna have to take him out of this lineup. He's the best value of any running back.
He's not even on the board. He's not what are you talking about?
He's the
probably
starter.
Not starting.
No, yes, he is. He is the starter. What do you?
I doubt it.
No, White's out. Look,
White is out.
Madison's out. It's either the rookie or Amir Abdullah.
A rookie.
Yeah, they're going to start their rookie. That's all they have left. Abdullah's the
Abdullah's
backup.
gotten work. Abdullah's gotten the work.
Fair.
Well, he's gotten all of 1 carry and 2 or 3 targets. That's all he's going to get.
All I'm saying is we have to put one of these value guys in. I don't care if it's a rookie, but
I think we just put in Bucky Irving or Rashad White, whichever one you guys prefer.
Irving. I do like Bucky.
Okay,
Irving.
well, I mean, if we're gonna replace him already, because it obviously goes strongly against it, I just want to say
I don't think it's a viable play. I don't even want to be talking about it and letting people know. Like, no one play him. They're not. Logan's going to play him because he does crazy stuff.
I'm going to play him.
2 points.
I'm on the crazy.
Let me push back then. Let me push back. I'm being serious. I can show you if you want. I have a Raider in 90% of my lineups, and it is at running back. It's either Dylan or Amir.
And that's what's going to hurt you this week. But I also know you're going to do that. That's what you do. But it is not really that's a Logan thing. That's not Logan value and value are not the same thing.
They are. No, that is true though, and I'm glad that you were passionate about it because these are things that either work out or they don't. Like Donnie said it earlier when he was talking about building, his own personal. He built such a strong stars and scrub lineup, but if those stars don't get there, it doesn't matter what the scrubs do and vice versa. So it has to work out. Okay, so you're going to X out.
In my mind, just in my mind from what I'm seeing, when you're talking about the value running backs.
Yeah.
Here would be the choices. One of the Tampa Bay guys. Bucky or Rashad.
It's Bucky.
Or if you think they both go off because they're cheap enough where like at 5K, they're a little over 10K together. You think you can get 35 plus points out of them together? Like you could play both. But in my mind, you look at one of the Tampa Bay guys, and then the other value choice is between Brian Robinson Jr. and Kareem Hunt, who is the chalk.
Kareem Hunt. That actually brings up one of our best comments. I forget it was you, Donnie. It took the Chiefs, right? He thinks that you're 100% right.
No, I took the Panthers over the Chiefs. Well, the spread, I should say.
You took the Panthers over the Chiefs. Got it.
He did. He took Carolina. You also took the Dolphins, right?
Patriots.
Oh, you took New England.
See, I would agree that they're going to be pissed, but I think they're going to be pissed to get to the playoffs and get home and get rested and be healthy. Like, I don't think they're pissed off that they lost and maybe they lose the number 1 seed, but I don't think they're pissed off enough to prove anything to the rest of the league in the regular season. I think they're just trying to win games and get out safe. So I still think I'm almost pretending like we put Amir Abdullah in this lineup and just leave it blank. But is there any other running backs, Donnie, that you see? I do agree.
Those are 4 of the value guys I'm seeing.
I 100% get the Hunt thing.
With the way pricing is softer and the fact that running back is more projectable than any other position, I don't think we need to take a shot on a Raiders running back when even if it were Zamir White and Madison, they hadn't done much of anything all year.
You know why? You know why I like Hunt? Because people are like, well, what's the difference between this 14 and this 14? The difference is in this game against Denver, he caught 7 passes. So like, it's not just he's cheap. It's not just that he's the starting running back. He's being used by their best player, Patrick Mahomes. Like there's a trust factor there.
Yeah. And like, there's no reason to not use him because Pacheco was practicing this week. There was a chance he could have played until he was ruled out yesterday. So like, we kind of expect Pacheco to play maybe next week or the week after.
Right. And
he's probably playing in the next week or two. And when you get him back, now Hunt's just the main backup. So you might as well use him as much as possible now. And then you can get Pacheco ramped up for the playoffs.
And I wouldn't have played him if it wasn't for Pacheco. This is just an injury thing. Similar to that Raiders situation. Donnie, any other wide receivers that you're seeing for value?
McMillan for Tampa Bay. That's my favorite wide receiver value right now. 4K, coming back off an injury, when he last played, he was getting targets. I expect that to continue.
Even with Mike Evans back?
Even with Mike Evans back. We saw
McMillan hasn't been back,
that ball. Baker's spreading that ball a lot lately.
Yeah,
He's
this
doing
is
a
the
very good
first week
job at it.
McMillan's actually a viable. Like people were like,
I don't
well,
hate like Noah Brown from Washington if you think that's going to be a high scoring game.
that's a good one. Like that's what we're trying to do is just get the.
And then I guess the best value on the board, if Keenan Allen is out, will be Roma Dunze.
I like.
So you might as well put him in.
I like Roma Dunze. That was going to be my pick. You guys are just naming all the good values. Rome got 10 targets with all three of them.
Yeah, I know. So, like, if Keenan were out, like he becomes a smash value because he's almost locked in for those 10 again.
Not only that, but this was the first week with the new offensive coordinator that they actually ran the most three wide receiver personnel. Like, it was a dramatic shift. They definitely pushed away from the tight ends and went more to the wide receivers. I think Rome is my favorite cheap value of anyone.
We know we have to throw in Luke at tight end. Though I think there's other value under 3K at tight end as well.
I like other tight ends other than Shoemaker. None of them are like. There's a couple of cheaper ones, but like I don't hate that 4K ish range at like.
I usually play
lineup
that
with
range.
a 4K tight end and a 4K quarterback.
Well, we can upgrade afterwards.
The problem is Luke is a rookie, and like he's not just like a he's not just
with no Ferg, like Shoemaker is there. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like I've seen this guy play at Michigan. He's not just a blocking tight end who happens to be the starter. Like this guy is a viable pass catcher, and he caught 10 targets last week. I think if you don't play him, you're deliberately getting off with the chalk, which is fine. But I think you have to know that.
Yeah, 100%. Is it crazy? I don't know what his price is. Is it crazy to just go ahead and throw in Brock Bowers like as a flex guy? Because
he's 6,000, so it kind of
he had 16 targets last week.
That's right. Our last guy usually is our best value, just like straight up best value.
Yeah, but like let's get the defense in there real quick.
I think
I got Green Bay. I like Green Bay this week a lot. If we're not playing,
they're not value though. They're
actually 2,800 is not horrible.
Oh,
I don't think they pay off mostly because like San Fran's gonna run. They're gonna try to not turn the ball over. They're gonna try to play like tight to the vest. I don't think that's a good game for a defense. Whereas something like Tampa Bay at 3,300 against DeVito could be good. The Broncos against Vegas at 32 is probably a decent one.
We can go Broncos. I'm not mad at Broncos defense.
Like Broncos at 32 is probably the way to go. It's decently cheap. It's a few hundred more than the Packers, but I think I trust it to get more points than the Packers.
Yeah, and if we're not playing the running back or any other Raider, it makes sense.
Oh, that's right. They go by the team name. You think one of these days I won't actually have to type in my player. I've always done that, and it's just one of those idiosyncrasies that I always do.
All right. Well, do we just throw CMC in? Honestly,
he's my favorite play of the slate.
I mean, he fits.
If we're at that point,
we're last player. You don't get CMC this cheap very long.
I do like Jennings, though. If you wanted to play someone that's not CMC, I wouldn't play them together unless I was playing an Allen lineup, which I am doing. But Jennings getting 11 targets in the last 2 weeks seems like a good value. In case we don't get there in our draft lineup.
All right. So I think 7,800. I mean, we could literally move $1,000 up on everybody.
I don't want to move off of Roma Dunze. I think he is the best. Like, honestly, I thought he was a really good play with Allen in. I didn't even know Allen was considered missing in this game. And they already have Swift, who is going to be limited. Like, I think he's going to play, but they basically said he's going to be limited. So expect some more Johnson. With that being said, like, I do want Rome. I think people forget that he was actually, like, highly thought of behind Harrison and Neighbors. They both really smashed, producing like crazy. I think Rome could have a great second half to the season.
Well, first off, I know we usually just say who we want to get off the most of. I think we just get off the Schoonmaker chalk.
I don't think we move off that at all.
I don't think we have to change tight end yet. I think it'd be better to put value elsewhere first. I would rather not play two Tampa Bay guys, so I'd move one of them.
I don't care which one.
Personally, McMillan. Then again, what I kind of want to do is get off of both of them. And, well, we're going to turn Bucky into some other guy not from Tampa, but I also want to turn McMillan into Evans.
I love the running back value this week at around that 6K range. So I
haven't looked at any other running backs that
like I said, I think we can get up a little bit at running back and get off Bucky, go to one of those 6K guys.
Yeah, let's do that first.
But I also want a petition to turn McMillan into Evans.
Mm-hmm. Let's get off the running back first. We'll
do the running back first. Like, I want to get off a Tampa Bay guy. I think Bucky's the first, but I really would like if we get off McMillan, I kind of still want to just go to Evans.
I want to play one of them though. I think playing one of them makes sense. I would prefer Evans.
I like Jacobs a lot this week, by the way, at 68.
Yeah, Josh.
Looks like the other bits of like chalk kind of stuff would be like the Walker or the Connor from that Seattle game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate as you like doing. I don't hate Ramondre either.
No.
Like you don't.
No.
What about 20 carries a game is bad? What?
The fact that there's no holes ever. But there's never any space to run.
But it's Ramondre.
I don't care. You could give me Derrick Henry behind that offensive line, and I'd say no.
I'd have to challenge you on that.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah,
but
I would play Derrick Henry with no offensive line. So
bold statement there, man.
I'd know Ramondre. Please. Don't make me follow that.
I do like Josh Jacobs. But I gotta like because Tony Pollard might be the only running back with Tennessee as well. That is a good look. Because
they're that third.
Okay, he again forward thinking. The hell.
Houston doesn't really give it up on the ground, really.
They don't. I think Robinson's probably the play then. Isn't it?
No. Like, okay, so
he got
forward thinking again.
That's the thing.
Oh, yeah. But, like, that's why I'm saying forward thinking. We could go to Tracy and then let's get off DeVito. And start working through a stack with our money. Because I like a lot of this value. I agree on not moving Rome.
I'm okay playing Tracy, but I would do it with DeVito.
I also think you could play.
I could also see doing it with DeVito.
I'd go to Tracy.
I'm not sold on DeVito. Just having him, like, I'm not. 100%
yeah, but you got to remember
Tracy
was a wide receiver. I do think the screen game is going to be active in this game. I don't think they're going to try to just unload Neighbors. You know.
All right, now I again. I am once again asking for your help with getting McMillan turned into Mike Evans. Bernie Sanders meme. I am once again asking for Mike Evans.
Donnie, why do you think McMillan's a better play than Evans outside of salary? Because I think everyone could see that. But, like, why do you think McMillan's such a great play, I guess? Because I think you might be right.
Like, he's gotten a couple targets when he was playing back a couple weeks ago. Coming off I don't like wide receivers coming off hamstrings. He is full participant. So, like, it should be fine. But, again, I would prefer Mike Evans.
Why couldn't we just get off?
If you're saying I have to play a wide receiver coming off hamstring after a couple of contests,
yeah,
I would prefer Mike Evans.
Donnie, are you muted?
He might be. He might be dead. Did he die? He's dead. He's just waving a finger.
Yeah, he's giving me a lot of hand signals. I don't know.
Giving me the finger.
I would say maybe he learned Braille.
What kind of rudeness is this? Giving me the finger. I can fing my finger too, fing buddy.
He got so mad that we wanted to get off of McMillan. He lost his voice.
I killed him. I killed him with logic and math. Math.
So let's just assume that
I will petition later to have McMillan turned into Mike Evans. But we'll move on from that for now.
Because I do think we get off of. We don't need to play a watch.
Now's the point where it's like okay, do we want to play we have a little mini correlation with Noah Brown and Shoemaker.
Oh, we
But
do.
we could get rid of that with the money and get to something better, like maybe McBride and a Seattle pass catcher.
Well, I know
that'll be chalky, but it's also much higher ceiling.
I know what Donnie wanted to do. He wanted to get off Shoemaker and go to Brock Bowers.
I don't want to do Bowers and the Broncos defense.
Yeah, that would be the problem.
And then it's like, now you want me to put money into defense. That is that's the least of my worries, putting money into defense.
Let me see. I'm going to see what Donnie is. But so outside of.
I'm telling you, I killed him with logic and math.
You really might have.
On the floor, ones and zeros and ones.
He sometimes freezes, his webcam freezes, so we're just going to see.
We'll see. But Luke, I think now is the time we get.
Yeah. So I had a Brown point. So Brown's been running more routes than Terry McLaurin, which is odd.
Ooh, I like the guy. Before we get onto that, let's look at the guy in chat while we wait on Donnie. I like. That's a very tough question. I like both of those quarterbacks this week, and I'm trying to figure out which one's going to be my third in my 3 max. It might end up being Tua. I'm probably going to say Tua. Just because if San Fran is in a run-heavy mindset, that game is slow, and Love probably doesn't push for a ceiling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tua might just put up points against New England.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because if I'm going to play a Green Bay guy, I think I would rather play Jacobs. I don't think that – let's just say this. If Love plays good, I think it's because he had to, and the Packers are upset about it. I think what they want to do is get him healthy for the playoffs.
Right. Love playing good means he was pushed. Tua playing good means Tyreek or A-Chain broke off a big hit.
Right.
So, I would lean Tua myself, too.
Yeah. As a Patriots fan, I will say they can't tackle against guys. So it only takes one. It only takes Waddle or he'll hit one.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. I think I lean Tua in that.
You can definitely leave in Romeo Doubs and play Tua, especially because Love spreads the ball out so much. You're kind of already taking a risk playing a wide receiver from Green Bay, so you might as well shoot for the highest upside.
I have no problem taking one-offs of wide receivers from Green Bay because, like you said, any one of them could get the touchdown. Right. They all get about 5 or 6 targets. I prefer Jaden Reed because with his 5 or 6 targets, he also gets a rush or 2. So he's like Debo light in that extra little bit of volume. It doesn't add that much to his ceiling, just a rushing floor, which is okay. But
okay, so we do have to get back to this lineup because, of course, we do have a hard out this afternoon, and we try to condense these shows as much as possible. Gov really wants to get off of McMillan for Evans, Donnie, but I want to give you a chance to defend it, just in case other people are with you and they want to.
I am petitioning the chat. Type in chat. Who would you rather have, McMillan or Mike Evans?
Okay, don't word it like that.
Well, that's what we're looking at. That's the question. Do you want to have McMillan or do you want to have Mike Evans? We have all the money in the world.
That is true. We do have all the money in the world.
All right. We are millionaires. We can pay whoever the fuck.
We can go Evans, but you got to give me a different tight end. I don't want that chalk.
I was about to say, when we come back to the McMillan chalk here in a minute, and I petition you again to turn McMillan into Mike Evans. But at first, I think the next thing we do is get off the tight end.
I just usually never play guys with hamstrings.
I wanted to check because.
Well, then why are you playing McMillan? I get he practiced on Wednesday, but he's also coming off hamstring for 2 weeks.
Because he's been and he's
out.
He's
the one who has to run deep downfield. Mike Evans is going to get some work where he doesn't have to full blown run.
He's already nursed this injury. He's been out for 4 weeks.
This would be my tight end change, right?
No, I'm saying
we have money. Yeah, we have money.
I was saying McBride. He's going to be chalky, but I also think he's
doing touchdowns. No, but I want to get off of Noah Brown, so I don't know.
That's the thing. If we get off Shoemaker, we don't need Noah Brown as a correlation, so we could get off of him next. Let's go McBride, and then use that $1,000 to get off Noah Brown.
I do think if anyone's paying up in this range for McBride, they're just going to pay all the way up to get to Bowers, and we have the Broncos defense. To your point earlier, Gov, that it's good. It's a good leverage. Okay,
52.
We're in a range.
Not a horrible range. Like, it's not a great range, but like there's players at 52 at wide receiver.
Well, there's one obvious one that would be a bring back.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be Wan'Dale Robinson.
Well, we already have enough Tampa.
Get a piece of that Miami game is not a horrible idea.
It's not.
I mean, you could always go for the home
Christian
run hitter.
Watson is also a bring back.
Yeah, Leggett is a bring back.
You could bet on Kansas City actually putting up points and play Worthy with Hunt.
I like Worthy with Hunt. He saw more targets than he usually does.
What's the Leggett targets at these past couple weeks? Not good enough.
Not good. Yeah,
not good enough.
That's the problem. He's priced up. See, my favorite play would be Jennings, but we'd have to.
See, that's the thing. That's 400. Then we'd have to go back down on defense to somebody else. But we already have Sanford guy anyway.
I wouldn't go any lower than Dobbs, and I think I'd stick to just one of the my plays would be either Watson or Worthy. In my mind.
If I'm going for the home run potential of those games, I'll probably just go Watson.
Could I interest you maybe in paying down to T.J. Hawkinson instead of McBride and give us more money at wide receiver?
Can I interest you with changing McCaffrey to A-Chain and seeing how much money that gives us for a wide receiver?
I could do that.
Yeah. I've almost plugged in A-Chain myself, so.
Yeah.
A-Chain is my second favorite running back behind McCaffrey on the slate.
This is the A-Chain's finally
now
like
we have 62. Now we're in a dip. Now, okay, Josh Downs against Detroit is actually.
Now we get Jaden Reed.
Oh, I love Marvin Harrison. We could do Marvin Harrison. And
I have some.
Tight end if you guys.
Here's the thing: we can go to Marvin Harrison. We could pay down to Samuel Porter if you like.
Okay.
Or like I said, T.J. Hawkinson.
I have some Marvin Harrison exposure already, so I'm not going to argue against that.
Yeah, and then we could get off McBride because we might not want to play two Arizona guys without at least either a Seattle dude or.
I was thinking about Kittle because we're not playing McCaffrey, but
can't quite get to Kelsey, but I don't like his volume in this game.
You could get to Jonnu as a bring back and then just pace up somewhere else. Or not Jonnu, or Henry.
We could play Hawk as a bring back to our Odunze.
You could play Hawk. What's Hawk's targets been at?
We could also play Kate Otten, I'm noticing too.
Like, to be honest, like everyone 43 to 4K, even to 39. Everyone 43 to 30. Hell, so
even 38.
Laporta to Ertz is all playable in my mind.
I 100% agree. I need to see the targets for Hawk. I legitimately.
He's getting targets.
Okay. Here's the thing. Look at these targets, and now realize Josh Oliver is out this week. One of their other tight ends.
I think Hawkinson makes sense because he's already got a natural correlation with Roma Odunze.
Well, we could also just go to Henry and.
Well, that's the thing. Like Hunter Henry has a correlation with H.
Yeah, but he has a backup tight end that takes work. Like I know. I'm.
Hooper has been getting these like weird screens that make it look good.
And to be fair, I was wrong about Hunter last week, but TJ doesn't have competition.
Well, his competition's on the outside.
Face, Logan.
What's that?
You could. You're off camera a bit.
The chat saying they can only see half your face.
Oh, I didn't know that was that beautiful. Hold on. I'll fix it.
You're good. All right. So there's plenty of options at tight end in this week.
I love tight end this week.
And then we can still have some money to switch around something, whether that's now you could even just get off of even more up off of Tracy.
Well, not.
You could pay up a defense. If you really
I would get off Tracy if we do that and just go naked DeVito. There's so much running back points on the board, I think, this week. So I would go Hawk or Henry and then get off Tracy. Personally.
Yeah, Hawk or Henry. Which one would you rather go, Logan? Hawk or Henry?
Hawkinson.
Let's plug Hawkinson in.
Yeah. And then
we have 1,500. We could even get off to we could get off DeVito. We have 55. We could get somewhere.
It could be. We can't quite afford.
No,
Kyler,
not really. 55 doesn't get us to much. Okay, so Tracy, who could we get off for Tracy?
We can get Jonathan
Brandon
Taylor.
Cooks, Trayvon Diggs, and Zach Martin all ruled out.
This range, I like Josh Jacobs, but
we could correlate and just go with Walker. Walker correlates here. It makes sense.
Walker does correlate. It's a little actually, I like that. I like
Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea of Walker.
Because DK Metcalf's going to be high owned. JSN's going to be high owned.
I think a lot of Seattle's going to be high owned. Like Walker might even be high owned. Like we kind of have a little bit. Like to be fair, Walker, A-Chain, Hunt might be a chalky running back. Like outcome. Like all of them might be 15% or more. But I think that's fine, especially at running back.
It took a long.
What I want the sub 5% Marvin Harrison. I want the sub 5% Mike Evans. That we both know can go for 25-30, but no one's going to play him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I want Hawkinson, who has a ceiling. And I want all of that to fit because Tommy DeVito gets me 16 plus points.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I like Walker because I don't think we could say DK Metcalf's talented, JSN's more talented, but so is Walker, and he's been the guy that's been squeezed recently. But I don't think anything happened to his talent. So this could be the explosion game. He probably needed big play, a big breakaway, but that could happen. Do we have time for the draft line? That value a little bit more time than usual.
It did, but let's get one done real quick. I got to get out of here soon. My heart out just kind of snuck up on me.
But we did talk a lot about the slate already, so I do think, we can get through this draft quicker.
Yeah, this is honestly the most fun slate I've seen in a while. So it's going to be
my pick, right?
Yeah, it's going to be Logan's pick. Then
okay, Gub, I know you got to leave soon, but you might want to turn off your camera. Are you ready? Amir Abdullah is my pick.
I don't know why.
It's fine. I pick last and I snake, so this is going to be perfect.
All right, my pick.
It's a volume play, to be fair.
Yeah, with that, I'm just going to go with a guy who scored, I think, in his last 7 games. Put a Monra in here.
Okay. Now, I will be fair to you guys. If we need the extra 300, I don't mind going to the rookie. So whoever you want to play.
I don't see a world where we need that.
No, it's fine with me. I'm being serious. I do not care which Raiders running back we use as long as we use one of them.
All right. Go fix this lineup with your next 2.
God, forsake them, for they have been forsaken. Okay. Fix this lineup. How do I go back in time? How do I go back in time? No. Okay. Let's just actually get what's an actual good play then?
And
Josh Downs. Let's put in Josh Downs.
Okay.
I
think against Detroit, we've seen what we have to do. And what that is, we have to try to keep that pace, and Josh Downs is looking pretty good where they are 15.
He's consistent. He reminds me of a prime Tyler Lockett. Just super consistent all year.
Next one goes.
This is where I'm this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to do that with the Amir Abdul. So I'm gonna force in something disgusting. You guys are gonna have to figure the fuck out now.
I like disgusting, man.
Who do I have on my list as a mid 5K quarterback that we can play? You guys can figure out how to stack with what you've thrown in here. No, that would be too easy. He correlates.
you got the hard line here.
Are you
You know
kidding
what?
me?
We'll go with the. Yeah, I know, and I'm the one stalling. We're gonna do it, Donnie. You're gonna love me. Let's throw Drake May into this line.
Oh, Drake May. He's done
May.
so well fantasy-wise.
I was gonna throw Bo Nix, but that correlates too much with fucking Amir Abdullah.
Well, I'm just gonna throw his favorite target in with him. Give me Hunter Henry.
Hen Dog Night.
I do
Here we
like.
go. Hunter Hurst Henry or Hayden Hurst Helms. Wait, no, it's
What?
Hunter Hurst Henry. Sorry, no.
What? I've never heard that in my life.
That's my nickname for both of those.
You're also not a wrestling.
One
fan.
was Hunter Hurst Henry. The other one is Hayden Hurst Helmsley. They're both Triple H. Well, they're both Double H.
Well, that's because we grew up in the Attitude Era, and Donnie has no idea what that was like.
Yes, he is not a true wrestling fan. That's horrible and untamed even.
All right, Logan, next two.
Okay, let me just get the player that I think is underpriced here, and I don't know why, but I like it. Give me DK Metcalf.
Oh, I think you screwed the salary on what we needed to do. Put in a Drake May stack. Where's Tyreek Hill? Oh.
He hasn't done well against New England.
Yeah, I mean, he could just jam him in the flex, and then we got to figure out what to do at running back and defense, even though he's already thrown our 4K running back in. I don't think the $300 will help.
It's Donnie's pick, right?
No, it's yours.
You get a
Oh,
second
mine
one.
again?
Yeah, you had the other snake.
Oh, we're gonna throw in Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, can we?
Technically, yes.
You're gonna leave me 3K for a flex?
Oh, I did,
A
didn't I? Hold on.
little over.
Hold
We can,
on.
you can go like 2,600 at defense and have like just under 4K.
I didn't leave you enough. I was
No,
trying
like
to be-
you'll have about 4K for a flex, a wide receiver.
I didn't
You'll
leave
need a cheap wide receiver. You almost can get to like if you go cheap enough at defense, you can get to McMillan or Noah Brown.
Yeah. I mean,
Like it's viable. He can go McCaffrey. This is why I'm like, I'd rather you just go Tyreek Hill and leave him some money, but that some money is just for running back. So,
yeah.
But there are cheaper running backs he can play.
They're a cheaper running back. Let me go with Devin A-Chain. I think he's a good play this week.
Isn't Hill cheaper?
By $200. I think A-Chain's better though.
Yeah, and it does give us the running back, which is the more projectable.
But now go ahead, Donnie.
All right.
I was trying to be too quick. The people did not.
Donnie, you can either
Can you
pick the
just-
flex or the defense.
Yeah, Logan, can you just plug in the cheapest defense so I know what I have to work with? I don't want to do the math here. What, I have 51 potentially? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at about the 5-ish K range.
Yes, if you play the Panthers against Kansas City, you'll have 5,400.
Okay. Let me just double check my player pool here real quick.
We will not be playing the Panthers against Kansas City.
We will not be playing. I
We will
promise
play
I won't.
any other defense as long as there's money on the table.
I promise you I won't put us through that.
See, we can hit it.
But
There
I
are
don't
players
have-
in this range. It's not horrible.
I don't have this exact range memorized because I don't play much of it right now.
See, Waddle.
Wandell, you got. Well, probably wouldn't do Waddle. Worthy.
Oh! What am I saying? This is obvious. Just put Roman there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Doomsday. Yeah, he's like
I didn't
48.
wanna-
What?
He's a little scroll down a little more. Yeah.
I didn't want to lead the witness, so that's what I would have done. I'll fix the PMR a bit later
All right.
for time.
And now
defense.
let's just correlate and play the Chicago defense against Minnesota. We don't have a Minnesota guy.
I do think the Bears are the best value defense this week.
I do too.
Those are the Packers. We could afford the Packers as well.
But we play. Oh, we didn't play McCaffrey.
We did not play McCaffrey.
Again,
do
I'm
like-
not huge on the Packers. I think people are going to chase that and they'll be chalky.
Yeah.
But I don't think Brandon Allen's going to throw enough to have that many mistakes.
Well, the Bears are really good against the pass, and they I don't know if Minnesota can really use the running backs with Jones effectively enough to move the ball. I think we did it, Go. We got you out of here. And by the way, Steve, I don't know if I should take it as a compliment you wanted to see my face and start to feel good about myself, or if I should be like, man, he wanted to see my face. He hadn't even liked the stream yet. So I fixed my camera for you. Now you got to do me a favor. You got to like and subscribe to the channel. That's the deal. Otherwise, I'll go off screen like Gov did today. With that being said, though, I want to get us out of here. We do have a heart out. We try to give you the information as quick as we could. Hopefully, you guys find value. There's a lot of it. Our value lineup proved it. It took us a while to get through that, but there's a lot of value. So have fun. Steve, in all seriousness, Steve mentioned it. It could win, and that's what you want to do. You want to build lineups that can win. So
they have to have the story and how they win behind it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon. See you later. Get to work, Gov. Don't be late. See you
Peace out, guys.
See you, everyone.